people's moods have changed slightly.
Yes,
anger
very much
levels
so.
have risen.
Very much so.
Being able to be in control of your temper seems to have gone by the wayside.
Yeah.
And we saw in the paper this week, how are people going to be able to get back control of the temper, not be so angry? And this is where the family game was board games. Playing board games, conflict resolution, team play, being able to get on with things. So at Christmas time, even if you can put your alcohol aside, it could be a good time to get the board games out and do that conflict resolution and get on with one another.
Yes, and just to say that alcohol is a depressant, of course.
Yes.
And a lot of people have had mental health issues over lockdown. In fact, I think it's normal that we have, because it wasn't a normal situation to be in.
Absolutely.
But yes, board games are very interesting.
I think things get too heated I know in my house they get too heated.
Well, especially with the property one.
Yes.
Shall I say it?
Yes.
In Monopoly, isn't it? I think they're a very good thing. In the same way that eating around a table is great for families, in my opinion, and, you know, we lost a bit of that, didn't we, over the last 2 years as well? But I'm very big on that in my house. I love everybody around a table. Even if arguments are caused by getting out a game, and Monopoly seemed to be the one that caused the biggest problems in our house anyway, it's a safe way of practising conflict. In the same way that maybe if somebody's 15, 16 and has their first drink at home and gets drunk and is unwell in their own bedroom, that's a safer way of them testing alcohol for the first time, if you see what I mean.
Yes, absolutely,
So I think they're a very good thing because, yes, they may have a row with their brother, sister, mother, father, granny, whoever, about who's got Mayfair and Park Lane. That was the big row in our place. If somebody wanted that whole stretch and didn't get it, somebody would sulk.
But I think it's saying no. It's being a winner or a loser. It's being able to say, you can't afford that, therefore you can't have it. I mean, there's lots of games of life within that one board game. But at the moment, it's as if, and I don't know if it is all to do with the lockdown, I don't know if it is the immediacy of being online and being able to buy stuff or whatever, but we are seeing the levels of anger in society go through the roof. Attacks on frontline workers, attacks on shop workers. In fact, a little bit later on, we will be talking to the MP, Kieran Mullen, who brought through Harper's Law, what went on there and how we're going to protect frontline workers. But what are we going to do about the anger in society and the conflict?
Well, I think if you're talking about the family and board games again, I do, sorry if this is old-fashioned, but I am quite a straight-talking psychologist. I do think parents or carers need to parent or care.
Yeah.
So, I think what I've seen a lot of is that some parents being too frightened to actually say, that's unacceptable behaviour.
How do you say that nicely? Because I think you're quite right.
You get
sometimes
cross.
parents, sometimes parents think,
no.
But if some parents are having difficulty with that, sometimes they say, oh, it's for the teacher to do it or somebody else to do it. No, it's for you to do it. You're the parent. So what would you give for some parents who aren't doing that? What would you say?
So in giving a game example, if somebody starts kicking off, having a sort of maybe hit their brother, hit their sister or whatever, they need to be removed from that situation and told they're not going to be playing the game if they can't do that. I think there need to be consequences. And the thing with families is that in a healthy family, that is the best way to learn the boundaries and that you need to put in.
And you don't take any nonsense, do you?
No, I mean, Amanda, you're my type of psychologist.
I absolutely do not take any nonsense myself.
I absolutely agree with you. And what surprises me is I've been in family situations where people have said to me, gosh, look at your children, they're so polite. And you think, well,
didn't happen by accident.
How did you do that? And you look at the other parent and you go, are you joking?
It's actually hard work.
It's very, very hard work. And you have to keep it on the time, all the time, even when they're adults.
Yeah. Definitely.
I think basic things like politeness lead to everything else. So if you don't accept someone being rude, then everything else will work itself out.
So
do you agree with
that? I completely 100% agree because I mean, the lockdown is a good example because people had very different opinions on all sorts of things, didn't they?
Yeah.
Which seemed to cause quite big divisions within families and within friendship groups. It's been very difficult.
It has.
But I came from a point of view that I was not going to be divided from my fellow humans because I see us as having more in common than we do not. So I always said to them, look, you've got a different opinion on that than me. I want you to tell me your opinion. I'm going to tell you my opinion. But at no point must we be rude to each other about our opinions, even if you completely disagree. So I come down like a ton of bricks on them if they do that.
And you know what? That's a lesson for all of us at the moment, isn't it? And that's why we're also talking about free speech and different things. You've got to listen to everybody's opinion, not all bubble up inside because you weren't allowed to say what you wanted to say.
I don't know who quoted it, I can't remember, but I know somebody said, I may not agree with what you're saying, but I will fight to the death for your right to say it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And that's where I come from. But I think with families, you do have to step up to it and say that's unacceptable behaviour.